Jordan! Who bought a cactus to keep as a spiky, low-maintenance pet? But when choosing their new best friend, unbeknownst to them, they picked the most needy cactus in the entire world, leading them to lose sleep and all future partners, because it turns out cactuses are possessive bastards.
Pink?
No, two guys. Hello, and welcome to episode 115 of Two Guys What's Up, the weekly comedy podcast where I couldn't be a cactus because all they drink is water. Blur. But this spiky bugger has his full cactus citizenship. It's Jordan. Jordan, how are you?
Proper spiky.
Proper spiky.
Especially when I get the hair gel.
Is that one of the rules you have to follow in order to get your cactus citizenship is become spiky?
I'll be honest with you, I didn't realise I was until this very moment, so, I mean, it's news to me.
Alright, have you not checked your mail? Your citizenship card came this morning, and it means you can travel fully unimpeded into cactus land.
Oh, okay. Is it hot, though?
Couldn't tell you, mate, never been.
Well, I can only assume it is, and I don't really like the heat.
Oh, okay.
So, can I send it back?
Well, I mean, you don't have to use it, you can just keep it, so should you ever need to go there, if you get a call from the Cactus King, and he's like, yo, bro, come over tonight, we chilling, we're going to be having cocktails.
Alright.
And bitches.
Okay, well, I'm there then.
Just make your way.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't be able to get in if you'd have just followed your first instinct then and lobbed back your citizenship card. Like, no, fuck this, bro.
Oh, I just did it.
Like, what? No.
I know.
Get it back, man.
And it fell on that truck that drove down the road.
After all what I just said, you were like, yeah, definitely wanna. The instinct took over and you were like, ugh, cactus citizenship, and lobbed it.
It was like, I don't know if you've ever seen the episode of Mr. Bean where he's chasing around his golf ball.
Right.
Have you never seen it?
No, it doesn't ring a bell.
Oh, it's great. Basically, the whole episode is playing crazy golf. So not even proper golf, but crazy golf for kids.
Yeah.
He's got his score chart and I don't know, let's say there's 10 holes or something.
Nice.
And after the first few that are relatively successful, then of course the golf ball gets off the course.
Of course.
And ends up in a greengrocer's and stuff and he's whacking the eggs to try and get it because he knows he can't pick it up, otherwise that's cheating.
Oh, I see, right.
And it ends up going on a bus and stuff and he's whacking people. It's great. So it just reminds me of that, I'd be following this cactus passport.
Cactus passport.
I can't remember what you called it.
Citizenship card.
Ah, okay, that's the one. On a happier note,
Oh, yeah.
do you remember a few weeks ago, my wife ended up going for a finance check on her car and then walked away with a new one?
I do recall that, yes.
And how long ago would you say that was?
3-4 weeks?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, Time Lord.
I ended up having my own finance check.
Right, so you walked away with a...
So next week I pick up a new car.
Oh, God's sake. You just can't help yourself, can you?
It's a self-charging hybrid.
Is it?
It is.
How does it self-charge? Because all these other people who have electric cars, they're being duped. They have to plug it into their house.
I know, suckers. They don't even have the infrastructure.
Whackers.
Or you.
So how do you do it then?
I just generate that much electricity while I'm driving.
I'm glad I stopped you there, because I don't know what you were about to say. It's about to insult an entire species of people in just 3 words. I'm like, no.
Species?
Yeah, the fucking entire human race, mate. We'll just cut that off.
Hybrid race.
That's only you.
Oh, okay, all right.
You're the hybrid race.
So yeah, the way it works, to my knowledge, is that there's 2 engines. One's an electric engine, one's a kind of standard engine, as it were. And
Primitive.
when you're driving the standard engine, that is also charging the electric engine. And so it will seamlessly switch between them, depending on what will be better for your mileage.
Okay, right. So does this mean you could technically get double distance?
I mean, no, I don't think it's quite that good. But let's say, I don't know, say I'm cruising at 30 miles an hour or something, and the engine will just constantly flip between that and the electric engine. So basically, I won't be using my fuel at that point.
Talk about indecisive, mate. Just pick an engine and use it.
Luckily, I don't have to manually change it because that's what I thought was going to be a big worry.
Oh, right.
But it turns out I just think of it totally as normal. I fill it with petrol and it just happens.
Well, good for you.
Because of that, though, when it does switch to the electric part of it, it's quiet. I didn't realise this, but by law, under a certain threshold of speed, maybe it's 20 miles an hour or something, it has to emit a tiny noise because it is so quiet, so pedestrians know you're around.
Oh, okay. Oh, shit, here comes Jordan.
And I'm hoping it's not like the Mr. Blobby theme.
Just really quietly. Robin, 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 Robin.
People are like, oh, must be that hybrid vehicle around.
Oh, here he comes. Get in your houses, people.
That species has arrived.
Hybrid cactus wanker.
That would be very unpleasant, actually.
Okay, I'm sure you get used to it.
And how are you?
Hey, I'm all right, yeah. Just briefly, because generally no one gives a fuck about how I am.
I do.
Thank you. But, I can text you later. Everyone else is just going to turn off if I start babbling. I was like, well, I got up this morning and it was it was sunny outside.
I had my sourdough bloomer.
I only got that because it was free. I ain't buying that out of my own pocket. But I have a bit of a creepy story to tell you.
Oh, God, I love this.
Yeah, just briefly. So my entire family went for a walk the other day around a local park, and there's like ducks and squirrels, so we took some nuts and we were feeding them and stuff like that. It was a lovely little walk, but my youngest, he loves puddles. And my wife has always been, fair play to her. She's always been like, they've got to be carefree. Have all those little fun things that children get, like jumping in puddles and getting muddy, getting in the dirt and enjoying their childhood. But what my children don't understand is they can only do that when they're wearing appropriate clothing.
Right.
So my youngest loves puddles now, but he doesn't understand that he has to wear wellies in order to jump in said puddles. So we were walking around this park. He was like, oh, puddle. We were like, oh no, buddy, you haven't got your wellies on. He was like, oh, fuck you, actually. Splash straight in.
Oh no.
Jumping right. So he got wet. His shoes and his socks got a little bit soggy. So we went to my parents' house on the way home, stopped off in there to say hi. We took the little one's shoes off. Obviously socks were wet. We were like, oh, bollocks, we'll get him some new socks. They have clothes at my parents' house, for events such as this.
Of course, that ulterior motive to visit them worked.
Exactly, yeah. I get a coffee. I mean, no. They listen to this. Anyway, my eldest was in the living room. My dad, my mum and I were in the kitchen. My wife took my youngest upstairs to the bedroom to get him some new socks. They both didn't go into the living room first. They went straight upstairs. We all carried on talking. Our eldest didn't move. And my wife came down and was like, where did he get these? And we were like, what are you talking about? And she was like, these slippers. Our youngest has got these slippers, but they were downstairs. Like, did you put them upstairs? And we said no. We looked at each other. No one had moved. I could see my eldest in the living room. He hadn't moved. But what had happened was there were a pair of slippers in the living room. My wife and youngest went upstairs, went into the bedroom, came back out, and on the floor in the middle of the hallway were these slippers.
Oh.
So my wife was going to go and get these slippers to put them on my youngest, but she came out of the upstairs bedroom.
And it was done for her.
And they were there in the middle of the floor. And she was like, did you move? Did you take these upstairs? And we said no. And we were trying to rack our brains. My wife said, our son went straight out of the kitchen, straight upstairs, didn't go into the living room. He was in front of my wife going up the stairs, didn't have them in his hands. She stepped over the baby gate, looked down to see where she was going, didn't see these slippers. But when they went into the bedroom, came back out, they were there on the floor.
Oh, that is weird. I guess great-granddad looking out for him.
Yeah, he's finally given up on breaking utensils and he's just like, you know what, I'll do some granddadly type stuff. Have some slippers. Now, where's that microwave?
That is very strange.
Very weird, eh?
I think regardless, if there's a pair of slippers in the middle of your walkway, you're going to notice them anyway, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a huge hallway. And where they were was right outside the door. And that's at the end of a corridor and right. So you would have definitely looked down to watch where you were going.
Yeah.
Because there's a baby gate. And it's the only little area where you'd have to look to step over. And that's where they were. So, like, how the fuck? And my wife was adamant. Your dad, he came upstairs, he placed them on the floor, he put them through the banister, he did quietly just to try and mess with me. We were like, we have been in the kitchen talking for the entirety of the time. The eldest hasn't moved. You two were upstairs. This is unexplainable.
That is odd.
Very weird.
So it's settled. Your house, your family's house, they all need surveillance.
Yep.
That's it. End of discussion.
Either that or an exorcist.
Well, no, that's less fun.
Oh, if we film it, it'd be quite cool.
It would. I mean, it'd be hilarious to see you, like, possessed.
Running, screaming, flailing.
Yeah, very, very odd. I appreciate the story, though.
Nah, not a problem. So, with that, we're running very long. So, let's just fucking jump into the meat and potatoes, shall we?
Oh, I'm hungry.
Sorry. Let's jump into the, I don't know, piss and sawdust, shall we?
I'm starving.
Oh, God. Don't bring up my favourite meal, mate.
Not as good as cactus.
So, shall we just jump into today's episode?
Yes, please.
Nice.
We can totally overlook the fact that neither of us know what each other's doing, but that's all right.
Oh, shit. Okay, I'll take that back. Jordan, what are you going into today?
It doesn't matter because you don't want to know.
I do want to know. I don't want to know now. I got a little ahead of myself.
So I've got a bunch of short stories of supposedly true events, that the strangest things that people have experienced that they just cannot explain.
Oh, like people with slippers.
A little bit like that. I suppose that would be one, yeah.
How weird.
It's like you knew.
How coincidental. I love it. Fantastic. Can't wait to hear that.
And what have you got for us?
Well, Jordan, do you remember once upon a time you asked me to do a little bit on the Roswell crash?
I do remember.
Well, it's in the works. Give me a chance, pal. I'm on top of it, okay?
Okay.
Just calm down. I just haven't got round to finishing.
I mean, that was ages ago.
Yeah, but it's coming up, all right? I just haven't gotten round to it yet, all right?
There'll soon be another Roswell by the time you've done it.
Just get off my back! But in the
okay.
meantime, do you remember once upon a bonus episode where we spoke about mermaids?
Oh, yeah?
Well, today, Jordan, we are back on the subject of fishy creepers. But the subject of today's conversation is a cryptid known as the Ningen.
Cool, yeah, I'm excited.
Brilliant. Can I do the swoosh now? The proper swoosh?
You can.
Nice. Cool. So, Jordan, this thing supposedly lurks in the icy Arctic waters. And to kick things off, just so you know what I'm talking about, I have a few pictures of these things. But just before I send it, I have to let you know, and I think you'll agree, that these things, just like mermaids, are sexy as fuck. I feel this is something that we can all relate to. Just as last time in that bonus episode, my whole point pretty much hinged on the fact that everyone was just annoyed because they couldn't have sex with these fishy beauties. And who could blame them? Lady top, fishy bottom? More like sexy top, dishy bottom? That's what I call a sexy swimmer.
I'm sure you try.
That's why this episode's going to be so shit, is because I spent my entire time writing that paragraph. Right, I got 2 images coming for you.
Okay.
Of course, these will be probably in the YouTube video and probably on Twitter and Instagram and all that cool stuff. So the first one...
Oh, God, they look horrible.
Oh, yeah. Wait, horrible, did you say? I was thinking, where can I get my pin-up calendar of these things?
Well, I'll create one for you. That's not a problem.
That's so kind of you. Such a good guy.
It's either humongous or there's a little toy scuba diver.
Well, I'll get to the size in a minute. It might not be quite as big. So the first one is like an artist's representation, and the second one is supposedly a true image.
Nah, bollocks, but go on.
Okay, well, what about this third and final image?
Is it you and your Rudy? It's as good as. It's like got an Iain face.
I just had to show you that because I thought it was funny.
This is good to know it wasn't time wasted.
Oh, God, no. No, not at all. I refined that first paragraph.
Absolutely.
And I drew myself on an engine. And if that ain't worth going to the Instagram and Twitter to check out, then I don't know what is. Maybe Jordan will get his cock out next week. So the name Ningen is a Japanese word, and it translates to human, which was given to this cryptid because, while it is an aquatic creeper, it does apparently have very humanoid attributes. I don't really agree with that statement. Jordan, you have seen them now. What do you think?
I mean, it supposedly has humanoid kind of features and limbs, doesn't it? And apparently fingers.
Yeah, but I mean, if I saw that floating around the ocean, I wouldn't be like, oh, a human.
Yeah, oh, look, it's Desmond.
To Bell! He owes me money, this guy. I ain't seen you in months.
He's really got into good swimming these days. No, I don't know. I wouldn't say really human at all.
I would have said human-like creeper. I wonder what that is in Japanese. Should we Google it? Are you ready?
クリーパーのような殺し屋
Try it.
Oh, wait. It changed it to Hitman. Hitman-like creeper.
Oh, no.
Here we are.
クリーパーのような人間
Perfect.
Lovely.
I mean, Ningen is still in there, so that proves at least half of my research is accurate.
Yeah.
And for anyone at home who hasn't seen these pictures yet, it's described as being entirely white with smooth skin and no hair. Reports suggest it can grow up to 20 to 30 meters long, roughly the size of a blue whale, and although it is featureless, it does have a head, torso, and limbs. But its eyes are described as small, black, and unblinking, and where some reports claim it has a mermaid-like tail or flipper, others describe seeing straight-up human legs.
Okay.
Is this thing having legs, arms, and a head, and eyes, and a mouth enough to call it human? No.
Human-like.
Human-like creeper, or should I say...
クリーパーのような人間
That was really good.
Thanks, bud.
You almost sounded female.
Yeah, what happened was I just imitated it. I am half parrot.
Right.
I think that's the reason I don't like cactuses. I can't land on them.
That was the issue.
I mean, don't laugh. It's a bit cruel, really.
Sorry.
Siding with your cactus pals. Now I know where your loyalties lie, mate.
Well, I have got the passport.
That was a joke sent to you by me, okay? You're not really part of the cactus kingdom, all right?
Fine.
I was just angry that you threw it away because it cost me £18 to send.
That's not too bad.
It was an alright deal, to be honest. But I am still half parrot. So the legend of the Ningen originated in Japan in the early 2000s, mainly through online forums like 2chan, which is a popular online Japanese messaging board where anonymous posts would start to circulate. These posts described encounters from Japanese researchers aboard whaling research vessels from subarctic waters. The sightings typically involved a large, unidentified shape moving silently through the frigid waters at night. But the first significant encounter reported happened when a Japanese research vessel was conducting surveys near Antarctica. Crew members noticed a giant white mass floating on the water's surface. Initially, they thought it to be an iceberg, but the mass seemed to be moving against the current, not with it. Some speculated it was a whale, but its faint outlines seemed distinctly human, showing things like limbs, a head, and a body, which quickly ruled out the whale altogether.
Okay.
Witnesses also described feeling a sense of dread when observing the Ningen, as though they were being watched by something intelligent. F***ing creepy, huh?
Yeah, that sound was.
No, that was just me.
Right, okay. Thought you had one of the sound clips.
Yeah, no, I couldn't afford the subscription this month for the sound effects that we like to subscribe to, so I've just taken to putting my own in.
Right, okay. Can you do some, like, waves on the water?
Yeah. How's that?
Terrible.
Bit mean, that, but
correct.
Yes, my impression of the waves was very correct. Thank you for noticing. Can't see what. Some crew of these ships have even oddly described unexplained malfunctions in their ship's equipment during sightings, leading some to come up with theories that the Ningen might emit low-frequency sounds or electromagnetic energy that disrupts electronics. Or could it perhaps be something else, Jordan? But we'll get there shortly. Another little bit of foreshadowing for you there. I think that's my new favourite thing.
Oh, very nicely written.
You set something up to intrigue the listener. That's my new forte.
Nice.
Or is it?
We'll find out, won't we?
I just made that one up. I just can't stop doing it anymore. Or can I?
Hopefully you can.
Or is it hopeful? I'm losing it. Thank God. I'm losing the ability. So in 2002, another Japanese scientific research vessel studying whale migrations tracked an enormous shape on their sonar. Initially, they dismissed it as a false reading from ice floes, but again, crew members said they saw a humanoid figure swimming just below the surface. The creature reportedly raised a long, white, arm-like limb out of the water before slowly submerging itself again and disappearing. What do you think that would be, Jordan? What do you think this
クリーパーのような人間
would be trying to do with raising its arm out of the water? I mean, like, in my head, I just hear this, yo, what's up?
I mean, it could be trying to scoop them up.
Oh, maybe. Oh, I'm going to eat you, bitches.
Yeah, tasty.
Two very different views of it, of one gesture, isn't it?
I mean, it could be both, couldn't it? It could be...
Hi, guys.
You look tasty. That's what I say to my wife whenever I see her.
Oh, you say hi, guys?
I do, yeah. That's how she likes to be referred to.
You're just looking at two specific points on her person.
Yes, her left eye and her right eye, Jordan.
Yes, very good. Lovely earlobes.
Oh, I love a good lobe. 1 minute. Earlobe sound effect. No.
That was almost a jaw harp.
How's that?
Nice.
I've stayed up all night practicing all these.
We'll get that subscription back soon.
Yeah. Please subscribe to the Patreon. And in fact, Jordan, many Japanese fishermen have reported white, featureless figures surfacing near their boats over the years during expeditions into the colder southern waters. These fishermen often refer to these creatures as a sea monk or a human of the ice, which are terms that were passed down through generations, so perhaps the the
クリーパーのような人間
is just the name that has been given to these creatures that is now being discovered by a new generation.
Okay.
For you see, Jordan, medieval sailors reported encounters with humanoid sea creatures that they like to call the sea monk and the sea bishop, which, if you remember, we spoke about on the mermaid bonus episode. And while their appearances weren't identical to the Ningen, I'm not going to do it, the similarities have sparked theories and folklore suggesting that these creatures may have been inspired by the same phenomenon.
Okay.
So, Jordan, what the fuck are these fucking things? There is various scientific explanations that have been proposed for the Ningen, so let's have a look at a few.
All right.
Simply, misidentifications. Some suggest albino whales, giant ray, or even a colossal squid that can seem to resemble movements of humans in low light form. Boring. Icebergs, natural phenomena, or optical illusions, such as moonlight or bioluminescent algae. Cool, but boring.
But probably right.
No, shut up. I'm not finished. The last one, it'll shock you. And you're like, that one's correct. Mass psychogenic illness, where in isolated environments like ships at sea, the power of suggestion could lead to shared hallucinations or exaggerated interpretations of natural phenomena. Bullshit and boring. So,
but also probably true.
No, you're ruining the flow.
Well, you just said, well, this one will be good, and you're right.
I said the last one will be good.
Well, that was the last one that was numbered, so,
Yeah, well, I mean, technically you shouldn't have my script, so keep your nose out.
Technically, thank God I do.
Butt out. You shut your gob. Okay. So, Jordan, the last one on the list. Not numbered, still relevant. Could they be aliens?
No.
What? Well, there's evidence to come. I'm setting it up.
Okay.
Right, yeah, so one more time. So, could they be aliens?
Maybe. If you got the evidence.
I'm trying to do a thing here, pal.
All right, I'll shut up.
I'm going to have to read the whole thing now for it to work. If I just say it now, they're going to be like, why did you say that?
Go on, I'll be quiet. Go on. Say it again.
Could they be aliens? Not boring. I don't have the same lure anymore.
Shit now, innit?
Yeah. Thanks for pointing that out. Thanks for causing it and pointing it out, yeah.
You're welcome.
Anyway, the creature could be an extraterrestrial being, possibly a type of aquatic alien that has adapted to Earth's oceans. What? What now? What's this?
Bollocks.
Oh. Well then, this theory stems from the creature's bizarre humanoid characteristics and its mysterious behaviour. Some argue that the ninja's appearance and his eerie, seemingly intelligent nature during its interactions with humans don't fit with no marine life, leaving room for the possibility that it is an alien species observing Earth and its inhabitants.
Nice, Keith Lemon.
Do you want to read this next bit? I read this, for me to be like, as it's coming from you, but you know what? Fucking say it, John. Top line, in bold, I believe. Go on, hit me.
Okay. So, Iain, you're being
Hi, Jordan.
stupid.
How are you doing today?
Why aliens?
Not nice, is it?
That was fine.
Go on, mate. You do that again. It could be a very hard-hitting sentence, and it's a poignant question, so fucking ask me again.
All right. So, Iain.
Yeah.
You're being thick as fuck.
Wow. Paraphrasing.
Why aliens, bitch?
Well, Jordan, let me tell you. The ninja's human face-like shape, complete with head, torso, and limbs, has led some to speculate that it may not be a terrestrial creature. Aliens, in many conspiracy theories and encounters, are often seen as having a humanoid form, black eyes, grey skin, no real features. Could that be a clue as to the ninja's not Earth-born origins, but instead it being a creature from another planet or dimension? Ta-da!
Probably not.
Yeah, but I mean, if you think about the image I sent you, yeah?
Yeah.
You see the ninja, you see the grey skin, the black eyes, the slit mouth, no nose. What does that remind you of? Greys!
I mean, yeah, fair enough. All right.
So what if this is just the water version of a grey? And underwater they have less impacts from gravity to keep them small, so they just fucking grow to like 20 to 30 feet.
Wow.
Or meters, whatever it was, I can't remember.
It's a lot either way.
It is yeah, exactly, right. So you're on board now? Yeah, you're feeling a little bit more...
In not so many words, but yes.
Okay, right, nice one. So the ninja's immense size might suggest an alien biology far beyond the natural world's limitations. Its slow-moving, deliberate actions could be interpreted as observatory, possibly as part of an alien research mission, or even as a form of communication. What? Mind blown. There are reports that sightings of the ninja are often accompanied with strange phenomena, like I said before, equipment malfunctions or a feeling of being watched by something highly intelligent. Theories suggest that the ninja might be emitting low-frequency sounds or electromagnetic energy, similar to the way UFOs are said to disrupt electronics or cause strange physical effects on people. How do you feel about that? Backing it up. Here's your evidence, mate. Shovel it into your gob like a big old salad. Here's your evidence, mate. Open your mouth. Shovel, shovel, shovel.
All right. Is there more?
Oh, I mean, there is a lot more.
Well, I'll hold and reserve judgment.
I mean, if you're going to just completely fall into my side of the camp now, then you may as well just tell me. About 30 more pages to go. You can just skip it all if you... Yeah, Ian, ninjas are aliens. Sorry, should I say...
クリーパーのような人間
aliens.
Oh, well, now I believe you.
Well, since she got involved.
Now it sounds legit.
One theory posits that the Ningen could be linked to secret underwater alien bases. According to this idea, the deep ocean may serve as a hiding place for extraterrestrial technology or alien species, especially since large portions of the Earth's oceans are still unexplored. I know what you're thinking, Iain, you can't use that as an argument, stop being a dickhead. But some have speculated that the Ningen might be a type of scout or sentinel sent to monitor human activity, or it could even be a biological tool used by aliens for surveillance in the oceans.
Okay.
How do you like that?
There is a lot of talk, isn't there, about not necessarily Ningens, but the thought of aliens living in our waters.
This is a podcast first. Jordan is agreeing with me and backing up my point.
I didn't say I'm agreeing, I'm just saying that that's
what I
often
heard.
reported.
That's what I heard. But yes, I totally agree. Yeah, aliens in the ocean.
So,
is one of them a Ningen?
So possibly.
So whether it's an undiscovered marine creature or something more otherworldly, the Ningen remains a haunting presence in the Southern Ocean. An eerie reminder that Iain is right. So Jordan...
That's not how that went.
I changed it, okay? Just bear in mind, you shouldn't have my script. All you should have heard is Iain is right at the end of that. But carry on. What do you think?
We would have known that that was changed anyway. But
I wrote it, so...
I don't know. It's odd, but who knows what's right or wrong, really? Because, as you say, much of our oceans are unexplored. Mm-hmm. Did they say something like 10% or something less than that? So in that regards, then, we don't actually know what's in our oceans anyway. So what's to say that this thing isn't there?
Yeah, and I've never been to the subarctic ocean, so I couldn't say.
Oh, haven't you? It's a really fun holiday park.
Pretty fucking cold, like.
It is. You need to wrap up, but...
No good for cactus types.
No, but I don't like the heat.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
It's perfect for me.
Maybe you should become a polar bear or something then. Completely change sides.
Oh, can you get me the passport?
Mate, I spent my last 18 quid on your cactus one.
Oh, you should just ask me first.
It was supposed to be a surprise.
I mean, it was.
This is how I fuck up all my wife's surprises. I get her something I think she'll like, and she'll be like, nah, she just asked me. You're like, well, that is not a surprise.
Thing is, though, would you rather a surprise...
or something you like...
not be anything useful? Or would you rather... I was thinking of getting you something nice. Is there anything you've wanted lately?
Hand job. Yeah, actually, didn't mind. Oh, you weren't asking me. Shit,
yeah, rhetorical.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, I see what you mean. Actually, to be honest, right, today I know I am going to be in the fucking good books when my wife gets home. My wife's?
Oh, wow.
My wife gets home. Oh, there's only the one.
You won't be until she finds out.
That's why I say, hey, guys.
And why is this?
Well, you see, there is a bakery near us, and they do their own homemade...
sourdough bloomer.
No, giant eclairs.
Oh, okay. I don't like those.
Oh, mate, you'd fucking love this one. If you imagine you go into Tesco and you see a chocolate eclair, you're like, yes, you know, 2 chumpfuls and it's gone, fair enough, whatever. But this one, it's like you can't even fit the whole thing in your fucking mouth, you know, from end to end. From the left to the right,
it's good practice.
Yeah, exactly. It's a thick boy. That's... Yeah, my wife thinks I'm getting them because she likes them. I'm like, yeah, try and stick it all in your mouth this time, babe.
Oh, you didn't gag this time.
I'll get you another one for tomorrow as a treat. Well done. God. But no, they're massive and she goes head over heels for them. So I have got her one because it's on the way home from the school that I drop my children at. Right. So I can drop them, I can grab an eclair, I can come home safe in the knowledge that my Willie might be getting a little touch tonight.
Oh, wow. Well, we've all got our fingers crossed for you. Let us know next week. If not, you just get 2 eclairs. Try again.
Just keep doubling the efforts.
Oh, God.
Oh, Lord.
Nice.
So Ningens, yeah?
Ningens. I'm less interested in that now. Oh, I love it. No, very interesting. Never heard of them before, but they look kind of odd.
Oh, yeah. Super alien-like, some would say.
Some may say that, yeah.
But not anyone of note.
Certainly not me.
Well, Smasher, thank you for listening to my insane rambles.
You're very welcome.
Now, I cannot wait to hear the thing that you said you're going to be doing, because I remember it was something that I was very interested in.
Well, it happened to be our synchronicities, didn't it, that happened with strangeness.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I have a bunch of supposedly true stories of the title, What is the strangest thing that you've seen and experienced that you cannot explain? We'll start off with me and a...
1 minute.
Go on.
Just before you carry on, sorry. You know all these stupid noises I make in the background of when we're chatting to each other?
Yeah.
One day, that's going to be me dying. I'm just going to go... And you're just going to carry on, and about 10 minutes later, you're like, what about that story, Iain? And you'll just get silence, because that will be me dying.
I mean, at least it'll be recorded.
That's true, yeah.
You know, I can distribute it amongst your family.
Yeah, when 10 years, when my son's old enough, like, this was his last words.
You know how some people say something profound.
Yeah.
Well, not Iain.
Rewind, my last words were, I think my Willie's going to get a little touch tonight.
Maybe it's going to get a little touch tonight. Oh.
My wife listened to that like, it definitely wasn't.
Oh, God.
Sorry to interrupt, mate. Carry on.
Example 1. Me and a buddy were at his house watching TV, and some person on the screen was eating a strawberry. I don't really care for them, but it looked good, and I asked if, by chance, he had any strawberries in the house. He almost laughed at me. I mean, we were two 20-year-olds with a higher chance of beer and mac and cheese or Fruit Loops than strawberries. About 20 minutes later, there's a knock on the door and he goes to answer it. He yells out to me to come and see something. His mum is standing at the door with one of those low-cut boxes with a bunch of strawberries. He said,
"Tell him what you said."
She looks a little strange and then says,
"Well, I was driving home and there was a guy selling strawberries out the back of this truck and I thought, I bet David and his friends would like some strawberries."
So he finally says,
"Well, you blew it. You had one wish and you wasted yours on strawberries."
Oh, shit.
Kind of odd.
That would be annoying.
Yeah.
You wasted your only wish. I mean, he could have been sat there, seeing Mercedes adverts. Like, have you got a Mercedes? God, I could really do one of those. His mum just rocks up like, oh, there's a man selling this Mercedes on the side of the road.
There's this Mercedes at the front door.
Yeah.
Ringing the doorbell.
You ordered me?
I'm a hybrid.
Very strange story. Nice little synchronicity there.
Yeah, very odd. Another one says, didn't happen to me, but to my mum. She was going through a tough patch, not making a lot of money. Single mum with 2 kids. Was stressed over bills, but had just enough to cover them. Unfortunately, left us with no extra money. She was a hard worker and would do multiple shifts at the hospital. Still, it was hard this particular month. She was sweeping and prayed for help. As she turned around to empty the dustbin, there was a crisp $100 bill perfectly lying on top of the filled trash can. No one lived at our home with us. She was never able to explain it.
Very strange.
I don't really know how you answer that one regardless, because even if you did have $100, you're not going to leave it in the bin.
No, of course not, no. I thought you were just going to finish it crisp, though. You're like, there you go, there's your dinner.
And they ate it.
Thank God.
Another one says, I was once standing in line at Target. A mother and her 3-year-old were in front of me in the checkout lane. I never met them before in my life. The child was riding in the shopping cart and the mother went forward to better unload it. The child looks me dead in the eyes, smiles, laughs, and said my first name very clearly twice. I have an uncommon first name which made it even stranger.
Was it Goo Goo Gaga?
It was...
I don't know what? Psychic child, how did you know?
Yeah, very, very strange. And he also goes on to say that, no, he didn't have any name tags. He just wore a normal dress code, a suit and tie, and it's a little bit strange.
How weird, yeah.
So how do you explain that, Iain?
You're asking the person that has a firm belief in the paranormal, mate. I think you should be the one who has to explain.
That's very true, but I'm the one delivering this, so...
Okay, psychic phenomena. Maybe the child was a Ningen. Maybe it was a fucking alien, and it was just like, you're next.
It wasn't in a swimming pool. Another one says, I once met this young homeless guy, probably about 10 years ago. He acted like he knew me. When I said I had no idea who he was, he said, isn't your name blah blah blah? Well, actually, he gives the name, but it's blank.
I was going to say that's another really rare name there.
I'll call him
Wilfred.
Steve.
Oh.
And you work in radio broadcasting. I got right freaked out because I had been applying to colleges for radio and there was no reason for him to know my name. I said no, but I've wanted to work in radio. Who are you? He responded saying it wasn't important and to ignore him as sometimes he gets confused between the present and the future and just left.
Oh, that would be like a really weird blasé statement to hear, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You were like, oh, sorry, mate. Sometimes I just get confused with the future. Bye now.
Exactly. It goes on to say, I never saw him again. It completely threw me off. I abandoned the idea to go into radio almost out of fear.
Oh, what? Why?
I don't know. I mean, I suppose it could put someone off if he got really freaked out by the interaction, and he clearly knew about him.
If someone came up to me and was like, oh, God, it's Iain. And I'd be like, well, how did you know my name? And they were like, oh, you not that multi-millionaire Iain? Oh, sorry, sometimes I get mixed up between the past and the future. I wouldn't then be like, I don't think I'll invest in the stock market because I might be a millionaire. Oh,
you know, but you don't know what that means, though, do you? It could be like, oh, are you the multimillionaire Iain that died?
Well, clearly not, 'cause I'm in front of you.
Well, dies in the future.
No, because then he wouldn't be mixed up with it, would he? He'd be like, I'm obviously in the past because that multimillionaire that dies is alive.
Well, I'm just thinking of an example. It could be, you know, that got in a crippling car accident and ended up with no life.
Oh, I've lost my life. Okay, right. Well, fair enough. You know, I don't know why that would put someone off, but you've also reminded me, you know, of another strange story that happened to my mum.
Okay.
When she was pregnant with yours truly, this sexy hunk of man right here.
Was she drinking a lot of wine?
Maybe. I'm going to have to get the full details off my mum, but the gist of it is she was on a bus and some old lady was like, when you due, bitch? And she was like, what are you talking about, dickhead? Don't come at me talking like that, motherfucker. And she was like, you're pregnant. It's going to be a boy, asshole. And she was like, what? And then she found out, yes, indeed, she was pregnant. And she didn't know prior.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, that's odd. I thought she would have been like 9 months and really easy to see. Just like, I just thought it was the breakfast.
I was crowning as she was saying it was a doctor. But no, she was not showing.
Wow, okay. Got confused with the present or the future.
I think this person just was more psychically inclined and could see, I don't know, the aura or the future or whatever outcome and knew that my mum was pregnant before she did.
Interesting, okay.
Then they fought.
To the death.
To the death, yeah.
Obviously, your mum won.
No.
Oh, she's a ghost.
She is a ghost, yeah.
Ah.
Hence why we live in the graveyard.
Makes sense now.
It's not a house, it's a grave we used to live in. It's very cramped. But Mum was adamant that we had to stay as a family.
I mean, it's a nice thought of her.
It was very kind, yeah. And she cooks some mean fucking pancakes, so.
Cooks a mean pizza.
She does, yeah. It's very hot, though, in that little coffin. She was getting the oven fired up.
I mean, it's cheap electric.
You know, when you're paranormal, you create your own, it's easy. Sorry, continue.
No problem. This next one, though, is, I think, particularly creepy. Someone says, for about 10 years, a man would call my home, ask for me, and then ask me if my feet were ticklish. Right?
That's a pervert right there.
Sounds it. This was 30 or so years ago, so no caller ID or anything like that. I would engage him if my family was home. If I said my feet were ticklish, he'd ask me to ask the person sitting closest to me to tickle them. He always hung up before we could ask questions to figure him out.
Okay, right, after the first fucking one time, ask you questions as soon as you pick up the phone.
I mean, you would, wouldn't you? But I mean, I'm assuming this person was young at the time and maybe wouldn't think that far.
If you think, oh, they've hung up before I could ask questions, you'd then think, next time I'll get the questions in first.
I mean, you would. So next time it happens, Iain, you know what to do.
I know, I hate getting questioned. That's why I always hang up.
So here's the creepy part. Sometimes he'd get me on a payphone.
Oh, weird.
I'd be walking home from school and a payphone would ring and it was always him. Still don't know who it was.
Yeah, that is horrible.
That is creepy, isn't it? So, I mean, it's kind of like implying that they knew where they were.
Yeah, and like not giving that person the closure. You know, like that's going to be a mystery. It's something that's going to niggle at them for the rest of their lives. That's so annoying.
What also was really strange is further to the comments of this in the discussion thread, that same person goes on to say, more horrifying than that was the man of the house at the time did nothing about it. And it was just a joke to him. If someone was calling my daughter like that, I'd track them down.
Oh, yeah.
But I digress. Lots here to be creeped out about.
Absolutely, yeah. And I mean, bad job, Dad.
Absolutely, yeah.
Get your finger out and protect your family, you asshole.
And just as we begin winding these stories down, here's some more examples with a bit more of a paranormal theme.
Lovely.
Was driving home from work one afternoon with my brother and cousin in the car. As we were sitting in traffic, I noticed high up in the sky and way out in the distance a small, motionless black square. I pointed it out to my brother and my cousin, and they spotted it quickly, so I knew it wasn't in my head. It remained still for about 45 minutes, and then the sun had set and it was just too dark to spot it any longer. It just stayed in the exact same spot the whole time, and while it was really far away, you could still tell it was a perfect square shape. Once I got home, I went online to see if there were any mentions of it anywhere, and there was nothing. To this day, I still think about it and wonder what the fuck fuck I was looking at.
I know what it was.
Go on.
So, you know the Truman Show?
Oh, yes.
Where obviously the sky is a screen and it's like a dome.
Ah, so it was just a bit faulty.
Yeah, one of the TVs had broke.
Ah, that could make sense.
Well, there you go.
Perfect. You answered it.
We live in an enclosed space, people.
I mean, that is a conspiracy theory.
We do need to jump into flat Earth, don't we?
I mean, we do, and that kind of dome idea.
Definitely.
Another one says, went hiking late at night with my buddy when something big and bright flew right over us above the tree line. It was so bright we couldn't even look at it, and whatever it was, it didn't make a sound. It was probably the most quiet moment of my life.
Well, that was a fact.
I remember saying, what the fuck? But no sound came out of my mouth.
Weird.
Only lasted a few seconds, and then it was over.
That sounds, like these crafts emit something which essentially quiet the surroundings. I think there's some form of theory, just off the top of my head, that these ships, these UFOs, create like a pocket dimension around them which allow them to move faster.
Right, yes.
Than, outside of our laws of physics. And with that, it's silent, and as it moves around you and goes over you, which is why so many paranormal and UFO sightings have this reported lack of sound, like everything just goes dead quiet. That's why when they fly over you, this sort of thing happens. So that was probably a load of bullshit. I mean, a UFO.
You're speaking like me. Just rub it off.
How do you like it, you bastard?
I love it. Last few for you. Autumn of 2009, I was sick. Like, super sick. It was a few weeks before my amputation.
Ooh.
And I was battling a severe bone infection.
Ooh, God.
I was hopped on all kinds of antibiotics and pain medication. I'm a huge Yankee fan, so my best friend got us some tickets for a game at the Yankee Stadium. She pushed me around the stadium in a wheelchair with a shit ton of blankets on me just to put a smile on my face. Good friend.
Oh, very kind. Yeah, I mean, leave me in bed, please, though. I'm very sick.
My friend leaves our seats to go get some hot dogs and stuff, and this is when it gets weird. As soon as she leaves, an older Irish gentleman sits by me. He offers me some of his spiked hot chocolate, which isn't what I'm thinking of as being spiked. I assume it's got some alcohol in it.
Yeah.
But I said no thanks and explained that I was on a lot of medication. We began talking and I told him what was going on with my life. He asked if I was scared to have my leg amputated, and I told him that I was. I was really frightened of the unknown. He gave me some pretty valuable life advice and comforted me. He assured me it would be fine, and he told me that if you have to be an amputee, try to be the best damn amputee that there is.
Fair advice.
My friend came back with food and asks who I was talking to. There is no one next to me. I guess I must have hallucinated this, but I don't know. It felt more like some kind of angel or being that came to me to let me know everything would be okay. I guess my guardian angel is an Irishman with spiked hot chocolate.
That's cool. There's worse guardian angels to have.
Supposedly so. They finish it off just by saying, not sure if this makes it more creepy or not, but the Yankees were playing the Angels in that series.
Oh, how weird.
Yeah, kind of odd. I mean, sort of sweet, though.
Yeah, absolutely. See, this is one of those very rare paranormal encounters that you can hear and you can just say, that sounds wholesome.
Yes. It's not particularly creepy as scary, is it?
Yeah, it's not like a demon coming sitting next to you and being like, so you want to keep your legs to you? I'll make you a deal. That kind of shit, This isn't the horrible side of the paranormal. This is the nice side.
So, do you think that would be some sort of guardian angel or someone looking out for them?
Yeah, I would say that was probably some sort of protector entity.
Interesting, okay.
Maybe through drugs in an altered state, these sort of things can come to you.
I'm sure. My wife says that she refers to him as her guide.
Yeah.
And the name is Okra. She occasionally smells him when he's close.
Okay.
As in, like a particular aftershave.
Oh, interesting. So at least he's well groomed.
Well, you think so. Or just smells lovely anyway.
Possibly.
It's weird because, sometimes we've just been chilling out and she's like,
I can smell him.
Right. And what does his presence normally mean?
I don't know. Apparently she's seen psychics before when she was younger.
Yeah.
And they've said that it's just somebody that looks out for her.
Oh, right.
Very, very odd. Last two for you, penultimate one. I was having a sleepover at home with a friend from school. We were watching a film and suddenly the weirdest thought comes to me. Her dog has just passed.
Oh.
Obviously, I can't just blurt that out, so I ask, weirdly, in the middle of the film,
Hey, by the way, how's your dog?
She was quite surprised, obviously. I'd never even met her dog, and she doesn't talk about it much, so she just mentioned she had one. She answered that,
Well, he's aging, but he's okay.
That's what you think.
we moved on, but I just couldn't shake a weird feeling. Anyway, she goes home and the next day calls me after a while and says,
Why did you ask about my dog yesterday? How did you know?
obviously, he passed away last night around the same time that she asked about him. I was both shocked and unsurprised at the same time. Now, I don't have an explanation. It seems like a weird coincidence since her dog was not something usually on my mind, if at all.
Yeah.
And it never happened to me ever again.
These kind of stories, I'm going to go off on a little bit of a tangent right now, right? But these kind of stories gives people the kind of thoughts that they might have the power to perceive things, right?
Right.
So it gives them maybe an inflated sense of ego, and they're thinking, oh wow, I'm special, or I have this power, or that was weird, I didn't know I could do this, maybe I'm slightly psychic. But to what point is that helpful, effective, or bringing any good into their life where they just get a little thought of like saying, your friend's dog's dead? Like, what does that mean? Like, where is the good in that? What is the point?
Interesting idea, yeah. I don't know. And I guess any thought that you ever had would be like, is this from me or somebody else?
Yeah, I mean, that's a scary thought. The thought behind what I'm saying there is, it's like these entities, like they say ego, is the thing that all people have that keeps them from the spiritual side of things. It's the sense of self and not the sense of selflessness. So if you got a message into your head that said, Ian's wife's dad's apples are now ripe to pick, by the way, and you went round and you tasted one, you were like, wow, I was right, where did that thought come from? You'd be like, wow, I'm receiving psychic messages, but what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
What's the point?
You're schizophrenic and a good coincidence.
Fucking demons, bro, that's what it is.
Okay.
Whackers.
Glad we cleared that up.
Okay, thanks, yeah, sorry.
The very last one for you.
Nice.
When I worked in the medical field, I had a dream one night about a patient of mine, a very kind elderly woman who I visited once or twice a week. In the dream, she came to me, dancing, and called me out that she wasn't hurting anymore. So you can see where this is going.
Oh, yeah.
I was so happy watching her dance after seeing a decline for years. When I got to work the next morning, I told my co-workers about the dream, and later that morning we got the call from her daughter that she had passed away.
Of course.
I can't explain it, but I'm glad I told my co-workers before the call and not afterwards, otherwise they would have never believed me.
Or the thought you killed them.
Such a bizarre experience and wonderful to feel she was at peace.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, strange.
See, right, these stories, I wake up and I eat these stories for breakfast, pal. I consume this type of story all the time.
You should try fibre.
Fuck that. Who needs shit when you've got paranormal stories coming out your ears? But I'm sorry, if I get the feeling that maybe you thought my responses were a little lackluster. Like, you were like, that's strange. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Oh, no, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's...
Fuck you, Ian.
that too.
No, I mean, they are very strange. I do love hearing stories about this sort of thing.
No, I totally appreciate what you're saying. I mean, I guess to these people experiencing it, though, that is the strangest thing in the world.
Yeah. So I listen to a podcast and they quite often say amongst themselves that they'll get a call from someone and this person is completely normal. They lead a normal life every other day, and then they'll get a text message or a phone call saying, I saw a light in the sky. And to someone who has been investigating the paranormal for nearly 20 years, you're just like, yawn.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So in other words, what you're saying is...
Do better, yeah.
Fucking do something else, you...
No, absolutely not. I love these sorts of creepy stories. I just didn't want you to think that I was uninterested.
Now that is what I do think. So, sod you.
Well, that was not the intention. I was just trying to say, in a very bad way, I am interested in what you're saying. I'm just sorry if I don't sound it.
I'm sorry if I don't sound it. It's because I'm not. I've heard better. Now, sod off. And go back to your Ningen.
So, any more stories for me?
No, that's it. Sod it. That was the last one, and it fucking will be.
No, I loved it. Please tell me more.
No, that's it.
No, not right now. You're just in future.
No, done with.
I'm so sorry, bro.
Sod the paranormal.
No, I love the paranormal. It's invoked some fantastic discussions from us about...
It really did, though, didn't it?
About demons and, good entities and the Oz effect, shit like that. We're all learning. It's fun.
Yeah. See you later.
Oh, I'm going to have to do some groveling after this episode ends. Okay, Jordan. So, thank you very much for those stories. They were very enjoyable.
Worthy, though.
Even if I sounded uninterested, yeah, I was very interested. I love hearing stuff like this, okay? Right? I'm sorry. I feel like I dug myself into a deeper hole than I meant to then. So, with that, if you don't hate me, and I'm just going to cut the call off right now, does that about bring us round to the end of today's episode?
I think it better had anyway, Ian.
Yes, because I'm very angry with you, Ian. Brilliant news. So, thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Two Guys What's Up. Don't forget to follow the show wherever you listen to us so you don't miss another episode, and maybe even tell a friend. But whatever you do, don't tell that friend that what they're saying to you is not interesting to you, because you will lose them as a friend. Take it from me.
And with that, if you'd like to get in touch with us, our Linktree link is in the bio of this episode, but not for long, which you can click on and be jotted off to every single link you will ever need for your Two Guys What's Up essentials. Want to get your own Two Guys What's Up t-shirt? Click the link.
Want to learn how to say,
クリーパーのような人間
click the link.
If you want to find out just how friendly your friends really are, click the link.
And when you click that link, it will blast you off to Patreon, the home of all your Two Guys What's Up extra essentials, including pin badges, shoutouts, and t-shirts. And if you really can't get enough of our fantastic tales and semi-friendly voices, well then now you can get more of each, because we release bonus episodes that come out on the last Friday of every single month, and there is, 20? Just sat out there right now, waiting for you, just chilling until you go and click play so that you can listen to those fantastical extra bonus episodes, all starting from just £3.
Bargain. So if you want to help support the show and get some cool stuff while you do so, head over to patreon.com/2guyswhatsup to check out all the goodies over there. The link will be down below for your clicking pleasure.
But if you can't do that, but you still like to help us out, then a 5-star rating and review in your podcast app of choice would be the best, freest, and most helpful way to do that for us, and we would be eternally grateful.
Eternally.
But on that note, thanks for listening, y'all have an amazing week, and we will see you next Monday! Bye! Jordan, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry, darling. Can we still be friends? Please say you still love me. This is where I got to last time.
Nice.
When I was doing my edit, this is where I got to. So prepare yourself for total fuckery.
Yeah.
In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of drink. I've got a cherry Lucozade here.
Okay, I've never tried that.
Oh, mate, I am a cherry fiend. I fucking love cherry. Do you remember when you came round just before Christmas? We had like 3 different cherry wines and fortified wines and cherry rum. And we're just like, oh, try this one, mate. And you're like, mate, I'm allergic to cherries. And you're like, oh, try this one. And you're like, on the floor. And
my mouth is closing.
Your throat was closing up and I was trying to pour more in. I was like, yeah, get on the floor, mate. Mouth cocktail. Oh, cherry, cherry, cherry.
It's good in it, Jordan.
I can only assume they're noises of love for cherry. Chanting cherry, cherry.
I love it.
It was great.
Yeah. I must admit, though, at the local market,
Yep.
they've been selling some delicious cherries lately.
But how do you mean?
As in the fruit.
What? Cherry's a fruit?
Yeah, it's not just a synthetic flavouring.
It's not just an alcoholic beverage, no?
No, not at all.
Oh. Next you'll be telling me it's like fucking triple sec, like there's an actual orange fruit.
Nah, that's bollocks.
That's fucking bollocks, mate. Apple schnapps, apple fruit. Well, like...
Apple flaps.
Apple flaps?
It's just when you, like, cut the sides slightly, but not fully off.
Of what? I mean, you can't cut vodka.
You could cut it with ice.
That's true. Apple vodka over ice, mate. Beautiful. Anyway, I am going to try my cherry Lucozade.
Okay.
So you're telling me that cherry's an actual fruit?
Nah, I was joking.
Oh, you bastard. You got me.
Good, aren't I?
Oh, fucking got me, mate. Good, innit?
I assume. It sounded it.
Did you not taste that? Oh, sorry. I had the intention in my mind of tasting it for the both of us, so I thought you might have gotten a little bit of a... No?
No, sorry.
Fine.
The sentiment was there.
It was. I tried.